All right. So to begin with, let's just take. I'm just going to use part of what we're doing in your note-taking guide to understand. Let's actually just look at that piece right there, that triangle. So 7.5 and 7.6 deal with what we call Soh Cah Toa. And this is the sine, and it equals O, the opposite leg, over H, the hypotenuse. This is cosine. Don't worry about this. This little symbol is called theta. This is A, the adjacent leg, over the hypotenuse. And T is tangent of theta. That equals the O, opposite leg, over A, the adjacent leg. So what we're dealing with these trigonometry functions is positions of a right triangle. Meaning, you have two legs in a right triangle. You have, depending on which angle you're talking about, and in this case, the angle we're talking about is theta. Depending on where you're at for your angles, there is a leg that is opposite that angle and a leg that is adjacent to that angle, depending on which angle we're talking about. And then you have the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is not a leg of a triangle. So when I say a leg, you need to understand I'm not talking about the hypotenuse. So these are all legs unless it says hypotenuse. Now, having said that, this is what you got to learn out of this. All it is position. So you're all going to use calculators today. And we're going to work out what these are. So if I wanted to know angle A, let's put theta there. I don't know what angle this angle is. We'll say it's theta. And I want to know what all of these trig functions are. Then I need to know this little phrase up here, Soh Cah Toa. So I would say the sine of A equals the opposite leg. What leg is opposite of angle A? Yeah, BCB here. All right, so we're going to call this little a, we're going to call this little c, and we'll just say H is your hypotenuse. So, opposite leg of A. Is this side touching that angle? Is it touching that vertex in any way? No. That's how you know it's opposite. But BA, that's touching that angle, isn't it? That's why we call it adjacent. Adjacent means that it is attached. So, opposite over hypotenuse. So the sine of that angle is going to be A over H. Just positions, that's all we're worried about right now. Got it? What about the cosine? What's the cosine of A? Think about it first. Soh Cah Toa, adjacent over hypotenuse of angle A. The adjacent leg over the hypotenuse. What ratio would you tell me, Kenzie?
Would it be C over H?
Yes, the adjacent leg is C, hypotenuse. And then tangent. And this is what today's lesson is about. Tangent. Only tangent. The tangent of angle A is what? Let me see here. Go ahead and think about it. Write it down. Tangent of angle A. Then I'll ask you. Notice. What is it?
A over C.
Yeah, the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. A over C. Today's lesson is only about tangent. Tomorrow's lesson is sine and cosine. So I'm just showing you it all today because in Algebra 1, you did this exact same thing in one lesson. So what we're doing today in geometry is just tangent. Tomorrow we'll do sine and cosine. All right, having said that, you need to make sure you know this. All right, don't forget this, Soh Cah Toa. They are positions. Now let's take a look at some examples. A couple examples, then we'll be done. So here's the checkpoint I want to find the tangent of B and the tangent of C. So everybody first do the tangent of B. And then over here you're going to write the tangent of C. Everybody write those positions down. Tomorrow you can worry about sine and cosine. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So it does depend on which angle you're starting at. Okay. At B, our opposite leg is the leg that is not touching this vertex, 48, over the adjacent leg, the leg that is attached to it. Who got that right? Okay, most of you. Tangent of C, the opposite leg is the leg that doesn't touch. That would be 14. Over the adjacent leg, the leg that is attached. Notice it's just the reciprocal. Okay. Yes.
Are you supposed to simplify them?
Well, we're gonna do something right now, which you aren't gonna need to do it. Okay. Yes, in general, reduce them. All right. But the whole point is that you're showing distances, so there's no need to reduce them because right now I'm gonna ask you what this is. Who's got a calculator on? Okay. Those of you who have calculators, go ahead and tell me what 48 divided by 14 is. And then in a minute, you guys can all get up and get the other calculators. Here. This one. What do you get, Mackenzie?
It's 3.4,
Go out 4 decimal places.
285.
And we're going to start going out 4 decimal places, and that's what it's going to tell you to do as well. Alright, so again, we rounded it, so we're going to use a little approximation symbol here. So what is 14 divided by 48 then?
0.2916.
Okay, those who have the calculators, make sure we check these because I don't have these answers. Excellent. So that's what you're doing with these. Now there's a purpose for this, and then once you get into Algebra 2, hopefully when you get to the section you do a little bit more, but in pre-calculus you're going to do a lot more with this information. Because you're going to take this piece of information and you're going to tell me what the actual degrees are. But that's another day, okay? So right now you're just going to tell me this, you're going to give me this information. Now, let's apply it so we can use a little algebra. Is anybody in here lost about how to find or how to set up your opposite leg and your adjacent leg? Anybody lost on that? Are we all good with that? Because that's the biggest part of today. The next thing that we're going to do, there's nothing new at this point, just some different types of examples. So let's take a look at this example 2 here. Now we're going to get into some algebra. I need a little space for notes here. We're going to get into a little algebra there. We're going to use tangent. Now, everybody in here can tell me what this degree is. Why? How would you do that? Nathan? Huh? Yeah. 180 minus these 2 will give me that degree, right? But the point is, it gives you this because that's the angle we're starting with. So you're going to immediately say tangent of 63 degrees equals what? What's the ratio? Wait. 13 over x. Opposite leg over the adjacent leg. 13 over x. Now, somebody tell me what the tangent of 60... You're going to solve at this point. That's the whole point behind this. What's the tangent of 63 degrees? Somebody round it to the nearest 4 decimal places. Those of you guys over here, if you want to grab a calculator, you're going to need it for your homework anyway. Get it. Tangent of 63 degrees Who's got it? You guys just grab a bunch for them over here. Never mind.
Oh, were you telling her to
Just go.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me to go.
So when I said you guys get up and get the calculators over here, everybody else come with you. Tangent of 63. What is it? Wait. Everybody else check it, make sure it's right so that you know you're doing it correctly. 63 for tangent, then it's 63, you know where it's at? Good. Can everybody solve this equation at this point? Everybody solve it right now. That's how you solve it if you were wondering. What do you get for an answer? Go ahead and finish it. Did I do it wrong? Oh, 1 point, sorry. Is that right? Thank you. Try not to screw up like I did. 6.62, 38. Everybody get that? 6.6238. So you just found x using trigonometry. You do not have enough information to use the Pythagorean theorem. It's not a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, so you don't have you have nothing until now of how to solve this triangle. Now tomorrow you'll do sine and cosine, and you could figure out all the other sides as well. Yes?
How'd you get 1.9?
What is the tangent of 63 degrees on your calculator? Yeah. Same type of calculator?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's the inverse. So hit inverse, just hit tangent. That right there. No, hit tangent first. Here first. You're all done. Now slow down and go fast. There you go. Now that inverse tangent you use pre-calculus. Okay, everybody good? Anybody totally lost? Excellent. Next problem. Last problem. Let's give a little space. There's not a lot of space here. All right. Now you set this problem up and solve it, and then I'll tell you what the answer is. Obviously, we're using tangent. On the test, I'm not going to tell you which one to use. You have to choose between the three, but you haven't been taught the other two yet. So tomorrow we'll address it. Tomorrow's assignment should be easy after doing this one, because you know Soh Cah Toa. Okay, what's the tangent of 59 degrees? 1.66.
44.
And what's 21 times that? What?
9499.
Okay. Everybody get that? On their own? So it's just algebra. You guys, algebra is used in everything. You have to be able to manipulate the equations, change things. It's all algebra. How to do things. That's what you're doing today. Tomorrow you'll do sine and cosine, which I shouldn't need to tell you how to do it. You just use, you solve them the exact same way, you're just using different positions. Alright, so your assignment. Page.
Yeah. What's wrong? Did you use them in
Yeah.
It's off, but just so you know the answer's off.
It's off or wrong?
It's wrong.
It's
wrong.
Let
I'm
me
not getting that.
have a calculator.
34.9.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Are you really doing this? Did you need 34 money? No, this is.
Oh. 34. Said 39. You probably said 34, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. I just,
I think it's
yeah, that's right. Okay,
calculated.
thank you.
I said 39.
I don't know what it is.
That's
That's so many numbers.
your assignment, page 469.
I don't know.
3 to 12, all. 18 to 29, all. Make sure you even. Begin.